So with the presidential election less than 5 months away, most voters across the nation say that the economy is one of the top issues that they're concerned about. And yesterday, Donald Trump met with some of the top CEOs in the country, and we actually learned that Trump proposed cutting taxes for corporations and wealthy Americans, among other ideas. Our economic expert, Elizabeth Schulze, here to break it all down for us. You know, you do two things for us. Well, you do more than that. You cover really everything for us, but you cover the White House and you cover the economy for us. So you're on top of all of this and you fact check things for us, Elizabeth. So
you know, this is the perfect confluence of those two things, Kira.
Exactly. The difference between Trump and Biden's economic plans going into 2025. Give us a reality check here.
Right. And this is a really important question because we're talking about trillions of dollars that are at stake because those 2017 tax cuts that were passed under former President Trump, really one of his signature pieces of legislation, those are going to expire at the end of 2025. So whoever is elected, this is a very key item at the top of the agenda. Remember what those did? They lowered the corporate tax rate down to 21%. That it was a tax cut for a lot of people, individuals, but also they are set to add almost $5 trillion to the U.S. deficit. So when you look at what each of the candidates are proposing, Trump basically wants to fully extend those 2017 cuts. He wants to see the corporate tax rate at 21%, and reportedly even a little bit lower than that, according to what he told some of those CEOs yesterday. He also wants to extend tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans, and he's even thrown out some pretty unusual ideas like tariffs on all U.S. imports, possibly even substituting tariffs for an income tax, which is something a lot of economists I'm talking to say would be really challenging. When you look at what Biden is proposing, he wants to hike that corporate tax rate, increase taxes on the wealthiest Americans, but he has made very clear that that would apply to just the small top bracket of income earners, and there would be no tax hikes, he says, for people earning under $400,000.
So then what do you make of Trump dangling these tax cuts over CEOs, many of whom either criticize Trump or at least distance themselves from him after January 6th?
And I think here what we've seen in the past couple of weeks is just how much of an issue tax cuts are for those voters, right? I mean, it's pretty clear that's number one. And I think a great example of that is the CEO of Blackstone, Steve Schwarzman. He's a GOP mega donor. He contributes a lot, not just to Trump, but to other candidates. But if you look at what he said in the wake of January 6th, he came out with a pretty scathing statement, Kira. I want to read it. He said, "I am shocked and horrified by the attack." He said that we need to make very clear that the election results were valid and that there would be a peaceful transfer of power. So he was quick to dismiss Trump then. Guess what? He was the one who hosted Trump the night that the verdict came out on that guilty verdict for a fundraiser, Kira.
Elizabeth Schulze, thanks so much.
Thanks.